Hi, welcome to Women of Destiny. I'm your host, Kathy Daniels Flippin. That's right. Ladies, I want you to take a minute and I want you to call your girlfriend up and tell them Women of Destiny is on. And you know what, young men, if you're watching, I want you to call your friends up and tell them, you know what, that lady, Women of Destiny is on. Today is going to be exciting because I'm going to be talking about a new season. That's right. Everyone's stopping me and they saying, what are we going to do? People being laid off, the gas prices, this is happening, that is happening. Well, guess what? I have a word for you. Today, I'm coming right in your living room to talk directly to you. So I'm going to give you a second to call your girlfriend up or to call your male friend up and tell him Women of Destiny is on. It's going to be a hot show today. Yes. I have Gwen with me in the studio, and we are excited. The studio is excited, and we're coming directly to you today. So I want you to take a minute. That's right, ladies. Go get that Coke soda or whatever you need. It's going to be excited today. I want to take a minute, introduce my guest. Yes, Gwen is with me again. You say, hey, every time I look, Gwen is with you. I enjoy having Gwen on. When we get together, last time we did a show, we got so excited, we wanted to say part 2. So again, call your friends and tell them we're talking about a new season. At this minute, I want to take a time and I want to introduce Gwen to the audience and just to say hi. And
hi, everyone out there in listening land. It's a pleasure to be here again today, Kathy. I'm excited about the topic, a new season.
Yes.
You know, with the springtime and the birds are chirping and the squirrels are running around. It's such a time of life and excitement. Yes. So I'm excited about the topic today.
Well, I'm excited too, Gwen. I'm excited because I think with everything going on, it's been a long winter. It's been a long everything. And I think right now, when I'm out there in the community and I'm talking to people, they are saying, what's going on? And I'm looking at them like, you tell me. So me and you sat down and we dialogued and we said, you know what? The economy, the world, East Hartford and all around the universe is feeling this weight. And we wanted to come to give people some hope and let them know, keep hope alive. That there's 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And we're going to just take a minute to encourage our audience to let them know, don't stay there.
No.
It's going to pass. So I want you to take a minute and let's just expound on a new season. What do a new season mean to you in your life, Gwen? I know you've went through a lot of changes. And how did you ride the seasons?
Well, the thing we got to always remember is seasons change.
Yes.
They're not meant to stay the same all the time.
Yes.
And just like in the winter time, everything looked barren, everything looked bare, no leaves on the trees. Oh, you just feel like all hope is lost.
Yes.
It's never going to be green again. And then there's springtime.
Yes.
Everything comes alive. So that just lets me know that no matter what I'm going through in my life, that springtime will come.
Yes.
Things will change. Seasons change. And each season has its purpose.
And you know what, Gwen, people have to understand, I think when we're going through it, you know, you don't understand it because you're saying, okay, is this thing going to take me out? Is the gas prices going to go to $5? Is these bills going to keep coming in when the income keep decreasing? And I'm going to be laid off. I'm going to have enough money to provide for the family as a whole. I think what's been happening with families in general is, are we going to have enough? Are we going to be able to do what we need to do? And one thing I love about winter, spring, summer, and fall is they don't last forever. It's short and sweet, but for some reason this winter went a little bit too long.
It was a long, long winter.
It was a long one. I was literally, every time the sun peeked out a little bit, I had my face in it. I said, I need that vitamin D. I just need to know that summer or spring is just right around the corner. And every time I started feeling like it's coming, here comes snow. You know, and that was hard for me.
Well, you know, Kathy, like I stated before, is each season has its purpose. And I think one of the purposes for this winter was it caused families to get a little closer. Because we was on lockdown. I mean, every time we turned around, it was a snowstorm, and even though we was aggravated, it caused us to do things as families. It caused us to be a little closer. So each season has its purpose. God has a purpose and a plan for us.
Let's talk about that, because someone might be in a season right now that they really don't know what to do. And I like what you said. The seasons brought us much closer with our spouses, much closer with our children. I know I took on a new hobby of cooking and baking, you know, and my husband was excited because he's a chef. And I started doing the cooking and baking, and he was like,
Wow.
But I think because I was in that season of, we got to do something. You know, when you looked outside, it was snowing. The finances wasn't really there to say, hey, I'm going to go I'm going on a cruise. You know, we just couldn't do that. So we had to use the resources that was within the house. And I could look, I had flour, I had butter, I had oil. So I said, well, let me get a cookbook. And let me try something new. And you know, I told you, I baked the cake for the first time from scratch, which came out excellent. You know, but like you said, seasons change.
They change.
We need to, whatever season we find ourselves into. And I want to take a minute and just talk to the fathers out there. I know that a lot is put on your shoulders as far as being the head of the house, being the provider, being the one that performed for your family, going to work, not knowing if you're going to get that layoff slip, going to work, not knowing that how am I going to rob Peter to pay Paul? Or another thing that happened this season was keeping oil in the tank. That was a very hard one because where you used to saying, hey, we might get 5 fill-ups, I think it was like 7 this year. And it's like, where is the extra money going to come from? So I just want to take a minute and say to that husband or that wife or that single parent that's sitting there saying, I'm in a season, I'm in a struggle, I don't know what to do. We're here for you today. We're here to tell you that season is about to pass. It's about to pass. In the wintertime, everything is barren. No leaves are on the tree.
Yes.
Nothing is blooming. When I looked out in my yard, all I seen was naked trees.
Very gloomy.
Very gloomy. Just naked. Nothing, you know? Where now, when I look in my backyard, I'm seeing leaves that's starting to come. The grass is turning greener.
The flowers are blooming.
The flowers. I'm walking out in the yard, and I'm hearing the birds saying to me, where's my bird seeds? You know, this is our season.
Yes.
The squirrels are looking like, okay, are you going to throw some nuts out? So, you know, whatever season we find ourselves in, and this is a great time right now for us because we're starting to see some sunlight. So, you know, God is really good.
And you know, Kathy, in the scripture, in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, it talks about there's a time and a season for everything. There's a time to be happy. There's a time to be sad. There's a time for everything, and every season has its purpose. And we as people have to learn to ride the seasons and to take it for what it's worth. You know, I was looking in my yard this morning, as a matter of fact. I'm an early person. I like to get up early in the morning. And I saw the birds just scurrying along. They wasn't worried about this, and they wasn't worried about that because they knew that God would provide. And we have to realize that God has a purpose and God has a plan for our lives.
I agree.
And even though we had to fill up a couple of extra times, if we be really honest, a lot of things that we do is unneedful. You know, so we had to start putting some other things on the back burner, like going shopping for a new dress or a new coat.
When you got 5 already.
Exactly. So we had to change things around a little bit, but we made it. We made it through the season. Now the sun is shining. Hope is alive again. You know, there was food on the table. It might have not have been filet mignon.
Or steak.
Or steak. Well, you know, I even had some steak too. But you know what I'm saying? But we ate. You know, everything God provided.
And you know what, Gwen? It's so funny that you said that, was that we have to cut back and you know, reassess everything and just look at things. And it's funny how you said, God, take care of the birds. I remember going out there, seeing all that snow and saying, the birds are hungry, or the squirrels are hungry. I remember going out there in my backyard and looking out the window and seeing deers back there and putting stuff out. You know, they said the deers are vegetarians. So I would look out on my table and I would see a bowl of fruit that we didn't eat. And I would say, honey, cut it up and throw it out there for the deers, even though the squirrels stole it. You know? But I said, throw it out there. So if God knows how to take care of the animals, how much more would he do for us?
Exactly.
I remember, and I want to say this to someone, I remember taking a bag of food this winter. I have more than enough, I really do. And I began to take canned goods and extra rice. You know, I'm always buying stuff like we're in a recession. And I began to put it in a bag. And I said, I'm going to take this bag of food to work and I'm going to bless someone with it. I opened up my door and I seen a man walking by in a carriage, pushing a carriage looking for cans. And I began to say to him, hey you. And he looked up at me and I said, do you need something? Do you need any food or anything? He said, sure. I said, this is for you. And he looked at me and he was amazed that who is this woman that would give me a bag of food? And when I tell you I gave him food, it wasn't just anything.
Right.
I put meat in there. I put everything I could think of. And I said to him, the reason why I did this, because I want to let you know that there is a God that loves you. And I don't mean to get so spiritual, but I wanted him to know that if you were walking down the street, pushing that carriage, if you can take 8 hours out of your day to go and push and look for cans, then there's a God out there that says, you know what? He needs to be blessed.
I'm going to supply his needs.
I'm going to supply his needs. And I said to God, thank you for allowing me to be that vessel to bless this man. We know that food is not going to fall from heaven, and God is looking every day that say, who can I use?
Who can I use?
You know, who can I use? Who can I use? I was at a store here on Main Street in East Hartford, and I seen a lady just sitting there. I didn't know if she was homeless. I didn't know what was going on. And I walked over to her and I said, do you need a couple of dollars? And she looked at me, she said, no, I'm not homeless. And I said, no, I didn't know. I didn't say you were homeless, but I didn't know if you had a situation. And I wanted to be the one God used to bless you. She was so amazed to think that who is this woman that would take a minute to say, here go a couple of dollars. I didn't know if she was hungry. I knew I had $5, but I was willing to give half of that.
And you know, Kathy, that's why it's so important for us to ride the seasons.
Yes.
Seasons bring about situations. And sometimes we have to take the time
Yes.
to realize that that could be me.
Yes.
You know, that situation could be happening in my life. So it's important for us to always take the time to love on each other. And that's one of the things that seasons do.
Yes.
Like I said, this winter was very long, it was very hard. So it caused us to look around and look at our neighbors.
Yes.
But I like what you said earlier, that if God could take care of the birds,
Yes.
you know, if he could take care of the deer, if he could, you know what, it's a wise man, Solomon in the Bible said, consider the lilies of the field.
Yes.
There is none more beautiful than the
Yes,
lilies.
that's right.
If God can provide for nature, of course he's going to provide for us.
Definitely. I
And we
agree.
just have to trust and believe
Yes.
and do our part.
And you know, that's why Women of Destiny, I know, is very different. We're going to be doing things different here because I want to go into someone's living room. I want to see change. We have been so blessed as a country.
Yes, we have.
We have been so blessed as a nation. We lend to other people. We help other people. When there's famine, when there's needs of whatever, we as Americans, we come forth and
Yes,
we do what we need
yes.
to do. And I know that the season that we're in right now, you know, as far as the gas prices and the economy, but I want people to dig within themselves and to reach out and to help others. I challenge someone that's watching the show to look in your cabinets, and I don't care if it's 5 canned goods. I don't care. I know you have more than enough of something.
Exactly.
And say, today I'm going to have an ear to hear from God because someone needs a blessing. Someone needs a miracle. Some family have 5, 4, 3, 2 kids that need something.
Yes.
If you got $10, I'm gonna give $5 to someone I don't even know, because the more you hoard it up and hold it, you're not releasing blessings to flow through you.
And also, you reap
Yes.
what you sow.
Yes.
If you give,
Yes.
it comes back to you.
Yes.
It's karma. And it's true.
It's true.
You know, I often say I have children and I have grandchildren. And I try to be a blessing to others because I don't know
Yes.
who might have to feed my children.
That's right.
I don't know who might have to lend a helping hand to my grandchildren. I might not receive the blessing, but I have faith enough to
Yes.
believe
Yes.
if they
The
need
generations.
someone,
Yes.
that someone will be there to reach out to them as well.
You know, my mom was such a giver. And being kids, we grew up where people always came to our house and had dinner. And I remember there was a man laying on the railroad tracks, and my mom fixed his plate, and she said, go give it to him. And I said, well, why are we giving it to him? She said, I don't know what life's going to bring you. She said, I'm sowing a seed for my children.
Exactly.
And now I'm sowing a seed for my daughter.
Exactly.
Because I don't know what life is going to bring me.
Exactly.
But, you know, like we were talking about winter, spring, summer, and fall. My sister have a garden, and she plants everything. Collard greens, peas, you name it, she plants it. And when the season is over and fall comes, she takes her harvest and she calls everybody up. And she said, I want you to have some of this, and I want you to have some of that, and I want you to have some of my lettuce, and we share it.
Yes.
And not only do we share amongst the family, we don't charge, we share, but we share it with the neighbors.
Exactly.
Because we know that there's a scripture that says, love your neighbor as yourself. And so many people don't even know their neighbors. Or if you do go to share, your neighbor's looking at you, well, who are you? I don't know you. But it's such a beautiful time when fall comes. And it's the harvest.
It's harvest time.
And it's time to give. And I'm challenging people this year
Yes.
to give out of your supplies, give out of your needs, give out of yourself. You might say, well, Kathy, I don't have no money. Look around your house. You know me. I look around my house and I said, there's something in here I can give away. There's something in here someone needs. And my husband came to me recently. He said, don't give away the house, okay?
But you know, Kathy, and it's not always in stuff.
Yes.
Sometimes a kind word.
Yes.
Sometimes a gentle touch. Sometimes people don't realize that a lot of times people are walking around and they don't